Here's a segment from a recent Gun Talk radio episode. You can listen to all the Gun Talk radio podcasts however you tune in, or check out guntalk.com for more. Well, this sure is interesting. On Friday, news broke that the NRA has filed for bankruptcy. Not Chapter 7 going out of business, Chapter 11 restructuring. Let me back up, kind of set the table for you here. The NRA is in big trouble with the New York State Attorney General's office. The Attorney General would like to dissolve the NRA. And why is New York involved with this? Because the NRA, quite stupidly, is chartered in New York State. Now, that was fine 100 and some odd years ago when there wasn't a problem there. But some 20, 25 years ago, I know that people talked to the NRA and said, you must move your charter out of the state. And the lawyer, who was clueless at the time for the NRA, said, no, it's not a problem. We got this. It's not going to be. And they said, you don't understand. Have you looked at the laws? Do you understand what the Attorney General of the state can do when you are incorporated in New York? Oh, it's not a problem. It'll be fine. So that was a quarter of a century ago, and now we have the Attorney General basically saying she wants to shut down the NRA and campaigned on doing that and calling it a terrorist organization. So now the NRA is actually paying attention because this Attorney General's office, there's teeth to this. She's really after them. Along the same time, over the last several years, the NRA broke ranks with its advertising agency, PR agency, Ackerman McQueen, and the Associated Mercury Group, Angus McQueen being the head of the Ackerman McQueen agency. It's my belief that Wayne LaPierre probably hasn't said a word that Angus McQueen didn't write for him over the last 20 years. I do believe that Angus McQueen probably was the power behind the throne in running the NRA. Just my thoughts. Angus McQueen died a year or so ago. And then the NRA broke ranks with Ackerman McQueen, a lot of rancor, a lot of lawsuits, back and forth. Now, understand, NRA was paying them $40 million a year for advertising and PR services, and who knows what else. And then it gets really weird. It's like one of those weird daytime or even nighttime soap opera shows where Angus McQueen's son-in-law, Bill Brewer, becomes the NRA's attorney. Now, he's representing the NRA in New York and other places and getting, who knows, upwards of $2 million a month. Yes, I said a month in legal fees and directing their activities. So somehow, somebody decided, well, what we'll do is that's what we'll do. We'll declare bankruptcy and recharter and move it down to Texas. That's what we'll do. We'll get out of the whole New York deal. Not so fast, my friend. It's transparent. It possibly, likely is in bad faith. It possibly, likely won't stand up to scrutiny in the courts. I doubt that the Attorney General of New York is going to stand by and just watch this happen without challenging it. It was even argued, some people looked at the bylaws and said, wait. And Wayne LaPierre sent a letter to the board telling them what they had done, what the NRA was doing, not asking for a vote. Well, in the bylaws, it specifically says only the full board can dissolve the association, can do this. But then you look back about, 3 weeks ago, and the board was convinced to give Wayne and the executive committee the power to do this. The feckless NRA board, 75, 76 members, sitting on their hands and being spectators and not taking charge and not running the organization, and not understanding that Wayne LaPierre is an employee and not the king who runs the place. But, if you vote against him on the board, you get taken off of the cool committees, and you don't have maybe the vendor arrangements with the NRA that are so lucrative. Possibly. Stories get told. So what now? Well, now it goes before bankruptcy court and a judge. And I don't know if the people who are advising NRA have the NRA's and Wayne's best interest at heart, or if they're maybe even setting him up for a fall. It's possible that the judge could come in and say, yeah, okay, that's part of the bankruptcy deal. Wayne, you're fired. The executive committee, you're all out. All the top dogs there, the employees, you're gone. All the cronies, the Wayne cronies, they could all be removed. I don't know if that was all explained to him on the front end. And at the same time, we have members, millions and millions of members saying, I'll never send you another dime as long as Wayne LaPierre is still there. And Wayne says, don't worry, our finances are great, he says in his letter to the board. We are in great shape. But when you file for bankruptcy, you have to do it on the basis of insolvency, I think. How are those two going to comport themselves together? It just gets stranger and stranger as we go along. And this just broke 2 days ago. We'll be learning more about it as we go along. I have a lot more questions that I have information on it. Lots of questions. So we'll see. Hey, let's do this quick.